Hi, it's John. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Scotland. Here it is another foggy day. One of the requests that you had was for me to explain a bit more about grounding. What is grounding, or to be grounded, to feel grounded? What does this mean? What does it feel like? How do you do it? How does it help? So firstly, I am not grounding right now. I'm in my shoes. In fact, these shoes have a particularly large sole, protecting me from the bumpy ground, but also preventing my physical body from making contact with the soil. Patch is grounding. He's walking barefoot on the ground, and you can ground on anything that connects you with the earth. So ground, grass, stone, water, sand, really anything that's natural. And if you can't, then even pebbles, especially if they're soft to the foot, where you're kind of maximizing your contact with the pebbles and the ground, that's also helpful. And so why would you do this? Well, you may notice that when we're born naked, right? And our bodies are designed to have regular contact with the ground. And the reason for that is that our nervous systems are designed so that all of the reflexes, or the nerve endings of all our organs, all the parts of us, terminate. So they end, they come out at our hands and our feet. And also important for grounding is the base of our spine. So back in evolution, when we had tails, and now we don't really have tails, but we have a little tailbone, and so sitting on the ground allows our root chakra, the base of our spine, to connect into the earth as well. And our bodies are designed to constantly release any surplus of energy. So our bodies are like a lightning rod. You know, we can absorb energy, and then often you see on lightning rods on buildings, you know, these big like copper or like big cables that run down deep into the earth below. And we have them on our homes as well. They connect the grounding cable in all of your electronics that support it through your home electrics and then deep into the earth. I think it's at least a couple of meters, maybe more, depending on the size of your home. So, yeah, what your body does is it releases negative energy. So really energy of any frequency, but it's anything that doesn't serve your highest good. So this can include negative self-talk, any negative energy that no longer serves your highest good. It can include anything that is positive also in the higher frequency ranges, but it's too much for you to absorb at that time. So a bit like shedding excess energetic load, and you can release it into the earth, which is fantastic, right? The way that I do this is I walk barefoot on my grass every morning. I often do my Highest John videos, although I don't always show my feet. I do it barefoot on the grass, and I set the intention to like drain myself down, like I imagine myself like a big glass of water with dirty water in it, and releasing that water all the way down through my body and into the earth. Now there are some scientific studies that show that our bodies are an electrical circuit, and it's something you can test easily yourself. You can just get a little voltmeter, amp meter, and you can see that there's voltage, there's current that constantly runs through our bodies. And what's cool about that is that you can see that what scientists have done is measure, especially down in your lower legs, the releasing of energy, and that it only takes just a few seconds to be able to release like that excess electricity, which is fantastic, right? So that's like a first practice. Another practice in meditation that we do is we extend the cord of light from our hearts down through our root chakras and then deep into the earth, all the way down. And you can send your grounding cord really deep or deep into the core of Mother Earth. And what this does is a bit like the roots of these trees here that will go so deep. You know, to hold a tree up like that, this high, the roots have to go really deep. And it's true for us as well. The higher in vibration we go, the deeper our roots need to be. And this is a really common challenge, pitfall, problem that people experience through their awakenings as they continually strive to ascend. We also need to ground more and more. I think when I first started this journey, I didn't really know what grounding was. It just kind of felt good sometimes when I walked barefoot. But some of the symptoms that you can experience, and that they vary, while, in vastly different ways for each of us. Hello. This is a bird singing. That you can experience dizziness, a feeling of being kind of fidgety and discombobulated. It feels like a dysregulated nervous system. Feeling a bit twitchy, and this feeling of feeling a bit like disconnected from the world, like not really caring. It's just like yeah, blah 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 blah. You might even feel disconnected with your body as well. So these are all important to feel into, because when you can acknowledge, when you can notice these things that are happening to you, then you can realize that actually there's something that needs to be done. You know, that it is a problem, but it's something that you can actually you can deal with yourself. So what I often do is, for example, between every session is just spend a bit of time. Come on, Petch. Come on, Betty. Come on, you. Wants to see the people walking by. But yeah, there's between every client session, I will go out and stand on the grass, look out up at the sun and the clouds, and then set the intention to release into earth what no longer serves my highest good. And as I do release that excess energy, I set the intention for Mother Earth to take this energy, this excess energy from me, whether it's negative, positive, or anything in between, anything that doesn't serve my highest good, I release into Mother Earth. And as I do, I ask her to transmute it, to be able to alchemize it, transform it into fertilizer, compost for other beings. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm wandering around in circles in a, it's like a pump track, we'd call it, like a bike track, for like BMXs and other such fun bikes. So yeah, that's a great start. There are other really fascinating things that that ground does. So I'm going to leave the track because I'm getting a bit dizzy. Don't know if you guys are. And this is garlic, right? It's beautiful. Something smells like it. Yeah. So the other really fascinating aspect of grounding, and perhaps instead of calling this grounding, let's call it. I can't think of a term. Let's just call it heaviness, right? So. Let's imagine for a moment that your objective was not to ground, and instead you just wanted to continually ascend. You would end up kind of like the Zen master at the top of a mountain, right? This kind of enlightened being where you're up on the top of a mountain, but you find it difficult to connect with the rest of the earth, the rest of the world. You know, why would you care about taxes and bills and having a home, and or should I say a house? You can have a home anywhere, but all these things that just don't, you know, really resonate with you anymore, you'd find it more difficult to connect with. And, you know, some recent examples for me have been, you know, my kids going through high school, and they're going through their exams, and my wife is fantastic at helping support our children through through their exams, including, you know, helping show me the importance of things like marking. So my son's been practicing past papers in music tech, and so I've been learning a little bit about it, and then learning how to mark his past papers so that I can tell him. And he's doing fantastic, and I can see his, even just in a couple of days, his grades like massively jumping up, which is amazing to see. So, you know, whilst I have a career that is so different, you know, they don't teach you at school yet how to do quantum psychic healing, and that's my career. You know, for now, I'm helping my son with a more third-dimensional career. I mean, music is very expansive, right? But that's just one of the subjects that he's studying. So when we don't ground, we might also feel the desire to kind of substitute this. Excuse me. So, for example, I often have cravings after, arguably I've done too many sessions, maybe I've done 3, 4 or more client sessions in a day. If I've done too many, I will feel like my body's like, hang on, we don't feel good. I can literally feel quite dizzy. Feels a bit like being on a roller coaster or like ride for 3 or 4 times, and that kind of dizziness feeling you get is absolutely what you know, it's similar to what I experience. But your body, I guess what's unique about it is that there's no other sensations, right? You might feel a little bit tired, but you can feel dizzy. And I remember when I first started the work, that took me quite a long time to get used to. So now I know it's like a kind of an alert for me to ground, and then also my self-care, drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest. Often grounding and resting will help me the most. What I was getting to was also food. So sometimes people, their go-to for me if I'm not grounding properly would be to eat heavy food. And sometimes it's because our body can feel like a hot air balloon, like rising up. And so eating, you know, filling my stomach helps me feel more connected with the earth. It increases my body weight, and also in particular around the solar plexus, like fills you up. So I'd often eat loads of nuts because they're very dense. When I used to eat meat, I would definitely be drawn more to meat. I know others are as well. And also there might be behaviors or movies, you know, other content that you gravitate towards because it's heavier. So it's really just to bring your awareness to these and to feel into that and to practice grounding more. So yeah, let me know what your grounding practice is. I'd love to hear. Thank you. Sending love.